Hello, YouTube. Initiate drum roll. You always gotta find a way to ruin it, don't you? And anyway, it's my 100th review. I have seriously done 100 of these. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, so yeah, this is actually kind of a mistake. I actually meant for the one that I'm going to be doing after this to be the 100th one and not this. So we won't really be celebrating it. So let's just pretend that this is the 99th. Let's just pretend this whole review that this isn't actually it, even though I announced it as such, and probably no one else would notice unless if I did so I'm very contradictory about myself here, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, for this one, we will be looking at the Addams Family Values, the only sequel to the 90s Addams Family movie. Yep, there was never another. I'm not going to talk about Reunion because I have enough bad sequels to look at this month, so yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that, so we're just going to pretend that doesn't exist. So yeah, with that, let's get into this. So the story for this one, much like the first, mostly centers around Fester, despite him oddly being pretty absent from this movie. Yeah, I don't know why, but he's not really in it that much. I mean, the story's about him, but he's not really in it. I mean, there are at least a few scenes where he's prominent in it, but for the most part, he isn't really in this that much. I don't know why. Also, his characterization's a bit off in this one, too, as he's a little bit more childish and naive than he was in the last. I mean, he was pretty much that in the first one, too, but here it's a bit more amplified. But yeah, anyway, so he's getting a little bit jealous of Gomez because, well, of everything that he's got. He's got a wife who he's devoted to entirely, and vice versa. They've got a good family, which has now gotten one more addition, as well as what was teased at the end of the last one, with Morticia being pregnant, is now actually happened, and they have a new baby named Hubert. Don't know why they would name their baby a combination of puberty and Bert, but yeah, there it is. Didn't even know that was a name. But yeah, Fester's just sort of been longing for a relationship like that lately, and he seems to have actually gotten that in the form of a nanny named Debbie who arrives. And yeah, the reason why she's being brought in is because Wednesday and Pugsley have kind of taken a dislike into the baby, in that they try to throw it off of the roof and also cut its head off with a guillotine. So common sibling rivalry stuff, I'm sure. I don't actually have any siblings. I'm an only child and lonely. That's why I talk to the voices in my head so much. No, we're not talking right now. So yeah, anyway, finally seem to have gotten a nanny that might work out for them and not be horrified or almost killed by them. So yeah, things seem to be looking up. However, it turns out that the nanny actually isn't all that good, as she's actually a Black Widow and has now set her sights on Fester. And it turns out that Wednesday has discovered this, because for some odd reason, Wednesday's always the one who finds out about these things. Don't know why exactly. I mean, Pugsley sort of gets the shaft in this one too. Could we have not given him walking into a room at least? I mean, seriously. Why? Why is Pugsley given the shaft in these movies so much? I don't get it, but I want to understand. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, Wednesday found out, and then so she convinces Gomez and Morticia to send them off to camp. Why exactly she wants to send Pugsley there is unknown. I guess she just thinks that Wednesday either told him or he'd find out eventually too, but yeah, I don't know why that's not a risk for any of these people when you are telling it to a baby. Seriously, you're not all that subtle if you're telling your evil plan to a baby. Seriously, why did she do that? Why would she discuss this in the open like that? She does know that's a risk, right? Like, gaining their trust is an important part of this, right? She does know that, right? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, she sends them off to camp and they are stuck in hell. I am fully convinced of that. Seriously, the camp that they go to is just hell. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. It's just torture and misery of joy. That's all it is. Just people with smiles all the time. How can they stand it? So when they're sent there, they immediately plot their escape. However, Debbie's working her plan even further and has now eventually married Fester. Yeah, seriously, after the first date, marriage, because she just wants to get this crap done and just get the money, I guess. So, yeah, they get married and they go on the honeymoon, and she's ready to kill him immediately, but he's Fester, so he doesn't die. Also, because it's Fester, he doesn't really catch on, and so Debbie uses this to her advantage, using sex to pretty much convince him to decide to shut off all ties with his family. And why she does this? I don't know. I really don't know. That this would just alert them that something's wrong, and, like, there's no reason to. I mean, outside of, I don't know, being a bit embarrassed by the Addamses, I guess? I don't know. There's really no reason, but yeah, anyway, this for some odd reason puts poor Hubert into a funk, and he becomes a normal baby. I know, right? The horror. He used to have a knife, one of those circly things for babies. Yeah, I forgot the name. I know there is a name. I just forgot it. But yeah, he used to have one of those made out of knives. But now, normal things like planes, it's horror. So, oh, and he also lost his baby mustache that he had. Why did he have a mustache as a baby is beyond me. But yeah, he already did. Like, from conception, I guess, he had a mustache. That's really impressive, admittedly. So, it also makes me wonder why exactly Pugsley didn't have one. But yeah, whatever. The grandma reads a book, and it says that this is caused by the lack of Fester. And so they decide they need to do something about this now. And by now, I mean they won't do anything. Yeah, they just sort of sit back at home, and Morticia tries to adjust to this baby's lifestyle, you know, like, I mean, she's at least trying to make a go of it, you know, at least trying to accept him for his normal self. It's horrible, but she's trying. Whereas Gomez is, I don't know, drunk, but they say that he's dying for some reason. I don't know. And apparently Gomez meltdowns are mandatory for each of these movies. So yeah, anyway, Pugsley and Wednesday escape with their new friend Joel. And how do they escape? Well, in probably the best revenge ever. Pretty much. Okay, so there's a play going on, a Thanksgiving one. See, this is a Thanksgiving movie. It totally makes sense why I was waiting for years to review these just for this. But yeah, anyway, so it's a Thanksgiving play, and pretty much Wednesday and all the people that the camp counselors don't like are main to the Indians. And they kind of go off script a little bit by burning the place to the ground. I love this scene. It's so wonderful. It's such good karma. Everything about it is great. So yeah, anyway, though, they've escaped now, and Joel decides to stay behind, though, in order to, I don't know, monitor the burning. You know, it's gotta be controlled, I guess, to get away with this, because clearly young arson is a good thing. I mean, like, as long as it's controlled arson, it's okay. So, yeah, anyway, he stays behind, and they go off to reunite with their family. And now Fester has pretty much caught on, because the house blew up, but even at that, he still didn't catch on until Debbie told him while pointing a magnum at him. Also, cool choice in gun. So yeah, anyway, though, Thing arrives in order to save him, and they get out of there and go back to the Addamses, and she comes with them and captures all of them. This was a really great rescue plan, guys. Just top notch. And so she decides to unveil her final part of the plan, electrocuting them. Yeah, she'll get away with this, I think. To be fair, though, she does say that she kind of gave up on the whole accident thing at a certain point, but still, I mean, like, you don't even really want to try now that you got them all captured here. I'm just saying, you could do this still, probably, but no, I guess she won't. So yeah, anyway, though, Debbie's motive is revealed, and it is she didn't get a Barbie that she wanted one Christmas. Oh, and also she just didn't like her other husbands, and for some odd reason, she says that this family didn't love her. I would beg to differ on that, but yeah, okay. But then Hubert arrives and reverses the flow of the electricity somehow, and then Debbie's electrocuted into ash, and somehow her credit cards are still there. I don't know. So yeah, her plan made no sense, but at the very least, the day is saved. And now Wednesday has a new boyfriend who, I guess she kills at the end of this movie for no real reason. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd. He seems very devoted to her and seems like a nice guy, but anyway, she scares him to death. I think that's what they're implying happens anyway. So, yeah, Wednesday's a murderer now officially. I mean, they alluded to it before, but now we know for sure. Cool. So, yeah, I don't know why exactly she did that. There was no reason for that, although I did find it kind of ironic that pretty much Joel, the guy that she was dating, he pretty much became, well, Gomez. He pretty much became Gomez, however, she didn't like that. I find that kind of interesting. I don't know why. Yeah, that's the end of the movie, outside of a really bad rendition of the Addams Family song again, because crappy versions of that are mandatory for these movies, because, I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So for the story, it's just as good as the first, honestly. It still captures the same feel. It still has the same great characters who, by the way, I won't be going into the recurring ones as they're pretty much all the same as in the first. Except for Margaret. I mean, now she's just sort of fully adapted herself into the Addams Family lifestyle, and yeah, good for her. But yeah, for the other recurring ones, it's not really that much outside of a few characters not really being completely in their same characterization, but even at that, it's a minor nitpick. However, Pugsley does get a little bit more attention in this film, at the very least in the first part of it, so yeah, I do at the very least like they gave him a little bit more of an equal balance there for they had in the first one. Seriously, it really is unfair to him in that one, because I don't really know why. He was a good actor. He did the role fine. I don't get it. But yeah, anyway, this one still has the exact same energy and gothic flair that the first one had, and yeah, it just sort of feels exactly like that. And it just sort of feels like just a continuation of that story, and I really do like how it's handled here. Something that my dad said always stood out to me about sequels like this, and that in the first one you get to know these characters, but in the second one you get to explore them. Or, well, okay, I'm very much paraphrasing what he said, but yeah, that was pretty much the gist of it. And I do think this film at least follows that really well, and that's honestly to me is what can make a really good sequel. So yeah, this one also does pretty much, well, what the first one did with Halloween, with Thanksgiving here, because, well, it's not really a Thanksgiving movie. I always think back to the burning of the Thanksgiving play on Thanksgiving, because, well, what else is there to think about? Seriously, that's the best part of Thanksgiving, is when people start burning others. Oh, and also, she didn't actually kill Amanda, by the way. Yeah, that was the girl that she, like, had tied up and looked like she was gonna burn her alive. Yeah, no, we see her on a plane later, so further making no sense why she killed Joel. Seriously, is she just afraid of commitment or something? I don't get that. It also has a bit more of a centralized story, as pretty much, yes, there are a lot of things where it branches out, but for the most part, it does have one central idea and just sort of sticks with it, whereas the first one had a little bit more going on to it, and I personally like the more simpler approach a little bit more for the Addams Family, as I don't really feel like they need to really throw in that much, as long as they take advantage of what they do throw in, and I think this film does that very well. So for this movie's story overall, I actually think it's pretty well done. I would actually argue that it's up to the same level of quality as the first one, as it's fairly simple, much like that one. However, it does take advantage of it all, and it fully embraces the Addams Family feel. So yeah, for the story, I am going to give it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, with that, let's get into the characters. So for the characters, like I already said, I won't be going into, well, pretty much most of the main ones here, as a lot of them are pretty much the exact same as they were in the first movie, so if you want my opinions on them, then just go watch my review of the first one. Yeah, let's start off with the only Addams that we will be talking about in this, Pubert. Seriously, I don't get the name. I mean, they like it, that's nice, but why? So yeah, anyway, so Pubert is a baby. I have a lot of opinions on that. So yeah, there's not really much I can criticize with this. He acts like a baby because he is. Don't know what else to really say about him here. He's fine. He's very convincing as a baby. I really don't know how to, I don't know how to analyze, like, animals or babies that much, as, I mean, really, there's not much to say, unless they're, like, anthropomorphic or something, but other than that, it's like, I can't really say that much. So, yeah. He's a baby. Fascinating. Move on. Okay, so yeah, the next one is Debbie, and she honestly kind of reminds me of my Aunt Debbie. I mean, minus the homicide part, but yeah, for the most part, kind of similar. It's kind of eerie. And she is played by Joan Cusack. I always get stumped on the last names. I don't know why. It's just a problem I've always had. Why do actors have such weird last names? Or at the very least, weird in writing anyway. And if I don't hear it, then it sounds weird. So yeah, I just don't really know how to pronounce it right. I apologize. This always happens to me. So yeah, anyway, though, Debbie is pretty much a Black Widow. And honestly, Joan has a lot of fun in this. Completely unintentionally, I actually watched School of Rock a few days before I watched this movie, and oh my god, the parallels between her role in that movie and in this one is pretty amazing. So in that movie, she's pretty shy, but she's also pretty commanding in what she wants. However, in this one, oh my god, she's insane, and it's really fun. I really do enjoy her performance in this movie, and I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't actually end up embracing the Addams Family, as, yeah, her whole reason for not liking them was really weird to me. It's just, they didn't love me. When did they not love you? You didn't love them. That was the problem here. You didn't like Fester, and you found the family to be weird. That's obvious in every other scene except for her last one, where she's just like, oh, well, you guys didn't love me. I mean, one of you bought me this giant house and devoted all of his time to me and cooked for me and a lot of other nice things, and also changed his whole personality and even shut off his whole family who he adores just to be with me, but that's not enough, I guess. I don't get it. I really don't. If her reason was just, yeah, I just didn't like him or something, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life with him despite him being a fairly nice guy, yeah, I would have understood that entirely. But no, her reasoning here is just, they didn't love me, and I don't I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, maybe she was just rambling at that point. I mean, that's completely plausible, but it's just sort of odd that that would be her first idea for a motive there. But yeah, anyway, so her character in this is a bit odd, most notably in her motive and her execution of her evil plan of just kill a guy. So yeah, she really takes it very odd places, like sending away the kids despite trying to shut off the family, which I don't really get how that works in anything, and would just alert them, which it seems like you wouldn't really want the extra attention just because, oh, well, I don't want to have to hang out with them, like, I don't know, once a week or something. And also blowing up her own giant house that she spent a lot of time arranging and decorating. I'm just saying, you seem to have really liked this house. I thought that at first it was like, well, okay, I can't kill Fester, might as well try and make the most of it. But no, then she's like, I'll blow it up. Why'd you waste time on the house then? I don't get Debbie's plan at all. I don't get her motive. I don't get her. But she is so much fun in this. She is so overacted, especially by the end, that it's hilarious. And I really do love her in this movie. She does a great job, and I really do enjoy her role in this. Then we got Amanda. I also have a family member named Amanda. Seriously, these movies have got to stop reminding me of my family. This is just weird. I mean, why am I supposed to be thinking about my family in a movie that has Thanksgiving themes? That's just far too wrong. Yeah, I understand my own irony. So, yeah, Amanda is the little Girl Scout from the first movie. At the very least, they're both played by the same actress, and their characters are equally as snooty as the other, so yeah, I can totally imagine her being the exact same character. We just didn't get her name the first time around. But I know her mostly from Angel, and also Buffy to a lesser extent, but Angel I really liked her in. She comes back on Angel in season 2, I believe, as well as in season 5, where she actually joins a lawyer firm. So yeah, that's interesting. But I always really liked her on these shows, as I think that Harmony was a pretty interesting character. So I actually do really like sort of seeing her more earlier work, and I actually did very much enjoy her role in this, as, yeah, she's very snooty, but in such an over-the-top and punchable way that I really enjoyed it, and you know the comeuppance that she's ultimately gonna get is gonna be so satisfying, and it is, and it's just really great. Also, her dreams of being an actress, yeah, I might want to work on that a little bit. I'm just saying, you weren't really convincing during that drowning bit until you went under the water. Other than that, though, it wasn't really selling me there. Just saying, you might want to go to acting school, just a touch. So, while we're getting into the sweet comeuppance of people at the camp, let's discuss Gary and Becky, the camp counselors. They are sadistic. I swear to God, these people are evil, hiding behind smiles. Because, oh my God, what they do to kids that they just don't really like is just cruel. And their understanding of history as well is very botched. Seriously, Gary, that play, God. I mean, like, just wow. But, I mean, like, yeah, I know that's sort of the whole, oh yeah, everything went great, you know, the kid version of Thanksgiving. But, yeah, I'm just saying, dude. You don't really need to act like this is what happened. I'm just saying. I don't think that any of the kids would question it. But yeah, anyway. So seriously, what they do to these kids is really mean. Just like, pretty much, they don't like kids and they'll just pretty much be like, oh yeah, those guys. Anyway, these other kids. So they'll pretty much just give all the attention to other kids. And, well, pretty much they run on conformity. Such a great summer camp. So yeah, pretty much if you aren't like the rest of the perfect smiles the whole entire freaking summer camp, then you get locked up into a hellhole. I mean, into a cabin where pretty much there's just a bunch of stuffed animals and it's all too pinksy and cutesy and it's horrible. And they just subject you to a bunch of feel-good movies like Bambi. What? How is Bambi a feel-good movie? Oh yeah, I felt so good during that scene where the forest is burning down, or that fight between characters over a girl, or and the best part truly was when his mother died. That just made me feel so good. Sorry for the very old spoiler on Bambi though. But yeah, I can see how that's a feel-good movie right there. Or at least I understand it a bit more with, Lassie and the Little Mermaid and the Sound of Music, but Bambi? Also, the Sound of Music, like, there's some kind of dark stuff in that movie. I'm just saying, like, some of these movies, they might seem nice and cheery if you just look at the iconicness of them, but if you actually watch the movie, there's some kind of dark stuff going on in some of them. But yeah, anyway, Annie I agree with. So, yeah, honestly, I just don't like these people. And seeing them get roasted was wonderful. So, yeah, they deserved everything they had coming. So, yeah, I didn't particularly like them. So then we also, moving on from them, let's go on to one of the characters that I actually did like who was new in this movie, Joel. He is played by Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus movies. Still wonder what happened to him in the third one. Seriously, did he just vanish out of existence? Did he die off screen? Answers! I want answers! But yeah, anyway, so Joel is actually a pretty fun character in this to me. He's pretty much allergic to everything, however, so because of that, he doesn't really fit in, and he's sort of more the geeky, nerdy guy, and because of that, he pretty much gets attracted to Wednesday immediately, because, well, she doesn't really fit in either. As well as Pugsley to a lesser extent, but hey, there's no real scenes where they actually talk, although they do exchange trading cards, so that's really cool. So I guess friendship there, but there's no real scene establishing that, but other than they're in that hut together for a little bit, so I guess they became friends in there, I don't know. But yeah, pretty much he's in on the whole revenge thing. I found it really fun. I liked his attraction to Wednesday. I thought it added a little bit more of a humanity side to her, and I thought it was actually kind of nice until she decided to freaking murder him. Seriously, very uncalled for. Just break up with him, Wednesday. Scaring him to death is not required here, but yeah, sure, whatever, I guess it is. And yeah, I do understand that he was a bit clingy in the fact that he deliberately looks exactly like her father. Creepy. But yeah, I mean, seriously, just break up with him. Just break it off. It's not, you don't need to plan this whole hand coming out of the grave thing, which doesn't really make sense if you actually knew how she died and that she was a pile of ash. How exactly did that happen? Did she, like, reform, or did Wednesday just get an automatic hand thing? I would like to know here. Also, apparently, did Debbie die then, or what? Why Joel feels sorry for Debbie? Why exactly was that? Like, there's nothing really to make it clear why he would feel that way about that, but I don't know, maybe he just, I don't know, is sad that a family member died, though Wednesday never really liked her, so I don't know why. Maybe he wanted her to autograph his trading card or something, who knows. So yeah, he's a kind of a questionable character. Not in any sort of bad way, just I have some questions regarding him, but yeah, he's still a pretty likable one, and I actually really enjoyed him, and I wouldn't mind seeing his character utilized more and more Addams Family stuff, as I really did enjoy his part in this. So for the characters, well, pretty much all the recurring ones are pretty much the exact same character-wise, so they're really strong and are a big part of what adds a lot of the energy to this film. But as for the new ones, I do actually enjoy a lot of them, as either I wait to see their comeuppance so patiently, or I just really enjoy them, and they have some pretty good performances in there, especially from Hubert the baby. He was the best. So, yeah, for the characters, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. They're really good, and I really do enjoy most of them. And if I don't, then, well, pretty much they get the comeuppance that they deserved anyway. So, yeah, for this movie overall, I like it a lot. Actually, I would argue that I like it just as much as the first, as it's very much on the same quality-wise, and a lot of the characterization and what made the first one work so well is still there, and it still works very well. The story might be a little bit simpler, but I think that just gives it a little bit more of a focus, and I do really like the way that that's handled, and the characters, new or old, are still very enjoyable, and I really enjoyed watching them. And the humor is still very strong. So for this movie overall, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because, well, I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And next time we'll be looking at what is for real, totally 100% my actual 100th review. What I meant to be the 100th review anyway. So yeah, next time we'll be looking at a sequel to my 50th. If you guys know what it is, don't tell me. I don't want to remember. So yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, anyway, we'll be looking at Blues Brothers 2000 next. Yay me. Anyway, bye. Hello?
Congrats on 100 reviews.
Thanks. Who is this? Okay, then. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I gotta make a few phone calls.